All right, I will call to order the Board of Franklin County Commissioners budget hearing meeting for Thursday, August 10th.
Commissioner Howard,
Present.
Vice Chair Renaud,
Present.
Chair Waymeyer,
Present.
Commissioner Oglesby,
Present.
Commissioner Dunn.
Present.
All right, our first and only item of business, and the reason we're here today is to present the 2018 Franklin County budget. I believe,
I'll ask that Janet give the presentation. A couple of things prior to that. This is obviously the culmination of several months' work, and Janet's just done a fantastic job assisting me with this, and certainly this would not be here in front of you without her. Additionally, I'm just looking out, so the board knows I did not require department heads to be here, and several of them reached out to me indicating that they couldn't, but certainly am pleased with the turnout and those who chose to show up, including the elected officials. Very happy with how this turned out, and certainly will stand for any questions that you have, but we hope to get you out of here in relatively good time. So with that, I'll turn it over to Janet. And
So I prepared a really short PowerPoint presentation just to kind of give you guys an overview. All of it is really more for the public. It's what we've already talked about. So as Derek stated, we're here tonight to talk about our 2018 budget. Just a brief comparison over last year. Our county value last year was $223,824,103. We're up just a little bit, 2.1% over last year to your 2018 of $228,583,523. So you'll see down there just a little bit of change in the various funds. Road and bridge went down a little bit. I know that, we've talked about that. There wasn't really much we could do about that. They had a significant amount of carryover. We tried to mitigate that as much as possible. Obviously a large quantity of personnel in the general fund, so we usually see a little bit of movement in the general fund. But if you look at the bottom, our overall tax rate is going to be going up 1.49 mils as an estimate. Our budget drivers, this is our total budget. So our operational costs, just slightly over $14 million. And if you'll look at the other two pieces of the pie, our salaries and benefits are about half of our budget. So $9,800,000 for salaries and $4 million in benefits. And that's for all of our employees over the total budget. Employee increases. As you know, last year we implemented the merit raises, and so this year we continued to try to make that a priority. You guys have constantly talked about how our employees are our biggest asset and that we need to take care of our employees, so we wanted to put that as a focus this year. So we budgeted for merit raises on the anniversary date of 2.5% and a COLA raise of 1%. And you can see the slight change in the salaries. Obviously, the benefits went up significantly. That's a lot in part to just changes in healthcare, insurance, and stuff that we don't have any control over. So, the numbers are what they are for salaries. So, the two big projects that we talked about last week when we kind of overviewed the budget at your regular meeting, Proximity Park, we issued $7.2 million in general obligation bonds for that. The debt service payments this next year will be $251,000, and the estimated mill levy from that would be 1.101. The new radio project that emergency management is heading up that'll cover the whole county, the new debt that we're estimating will issue for that is $1.289 million, and the debt service payments around $160,000. We did put a little extra in the budget for the additional things that are going to be coming up, like payments for the electricity at the sites, and then additional costs for maintenance and stuff like that at $51,000. So we're estimating an increase. We're estimating that to be 0.9 mils. So right about 2 mills right there with those projects together. So as we said, going up 1.9 mills, and these two projects together, 2 mills, we would have stood to stand level without these two projects. So two very important projects in our community, and I know you guys felt they were important. So everyone likes to see where we're coming from on our total budget, and so just add the little graph in there of how everything breaks down, all the different departments, and you can see what the biggest pieces of the pie are. The internal service would be, like our employee benefits and other services like phone services and stuff like that. Administration, 3.8 million. Road and Bridge, 5 million. So you can kind of see how that breaks down. And I would answer any questions that anyone has about the budget.
We're all very familiar with it. Spent a lot of hours on our side of the table. I don't know anybody else. Most everybody here is staff, but staff's welcome to ask questions as well.
And that's probably something that we do need to state, that, I mean, we put a lot of hours into this. The board put a lot of hours in individual meetings. I mean, this is a very, very refined budget, a very refined procedure, and we're at the point where, we can do this quickly because the work's been put in up to this point. The elected officials and department heads have been involved every step of the way. I don't think there are any surprises for anyone here, and that's something that was comforting to me coming in here tonight. We all know what this says. We know what the numbers are. We know where we're at, and I'm happy with that. So.
And just to piggyback on that, I sent out each department's budget, through the process. Early this week, I sent out each department their individual budget and what was going to be coming before you tonight, so that they could have one last chance to look over their budget and say whether this is what they agreed to. I heard back from the large majority of the department heads that are sitting in here today that what was presented to them was what they sat in front of you guys and discussed, with very minor changes. We did make a little bit of employment cost changes, but largely the same as what was presented to you guys originally.
We would need to officially open the budget hearing. Is that correct, now that we've had a presentation?
Need a motion to open the public hearing, and then motion to close it, and then we'll vote to approve the budget, so.
Need a motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We would ask for any comments to take, I assume. That'd be the process. Is there anyone who'd like to speak regarding the 2018 budget? None at all? All right, then. Hearing none, I'd ask for a motion to close.
Make a motion, we close the public hearing of the budget.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, then.
Derek, one thing I think from all of us in our meetings that we had, the comment that Janet made about our employees and our asset, I think that's across the board, and department heads and our elected officials. We want services for our county, for the people, and we don't want to take shortcuts. And we do appreciate, I think, the efforts they've made from, I don't care what level employee we're talking, their attention to their task that produces the value that we get for them all works out for everybody's favor. And those discussions, I think it's important they know that we really have bought into that. Hopefully they'll work all together with us and with you, particularly in Janet, to keep those budgets the best they can and work through them.
I am just so pleased with how this process went this year. I mean, all of our elected officials and department heads were so willing to work with Janet and I, despite the fact that this was a different framework this year. I mean, not only did we have a tax lid, but we really approached this as a team. I mean, there were two of us in tandem communicating with them, and I have absolutely no complaints. I mean, they've been fantastic to work with, and I'm very optimistic moving forward now that we've kind of established a baseline, Janet and I, and how this functions, that we'll continue to be able to build on that in the future, and this will come, I mean, it'll be increasingly refined each year. So, for what it's worth, very, very pleased with all of our employees and how they've handled this.
Certainly our largest decision we'll make all year, or at least policy we'll create all year. Does anybody else like to make a comment before we look to approve the budget?
Well, there are investments that have been made in this budget that I think are a great value to this county for the future and going forward, i.e. the radio system and the investment into Proximity Park that has the potential to increase our tax base and then hopefully in the future lower what that number looks like for all of us when we do get our tax bill. So I think sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture, and I appreciate the department heads that stepped up to look at the bigger picture, and this board as well that did that as a whole. So I was very pleased with the process and the way it was presented to us, Derek and Janet, and I thank you very much for the time and effort and work that you put into it.
Well, I appreciate the straightforward budget presentation and not drawn out too bad. And I really appreciate all the department heads and elected officials here tonight come to our meeting. Would be pretty bare room if they weren't here tonight. So I really appreciate those that stayed over and came in tonight.
Anything?
I'll piggyback what all the rest of them said.
Ditto.
I could repeat it all, but feel the same way.
All right then. We look for a motion to approve the 2018 Franklin County budget.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Renaud?
Yes.
Commissioner Oglesby?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn?
Yes.
Chair Waymeyer?
Yes. All right then. Last motion, would look for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.